there's certainly something to be said for the religious cultural component of Yiddish, which, if you don't understand that, if you don't understand Ashkenazi Judaism, the cultural aspects, the religious aspects, then you're going to miss something with Yiddish. Um, I think Yiddish tends to get treated a little bit differently than other languages when it comes to learning them. When you take a French class, let's say you take 2 semesters of French, you're not going to come out of that saying I speak French. I mean, maybe you do, but you're lying, right? And you're not going to really know what French is about unless you go live in France. There is very much the phenomenon of people taking a couple of semesters of Yiddish or taking a Yiddish class and now saying, oh, I speak Yiddish. I'm not sure what that's about, and I'm not trying to cast aspersions on it, but there's sort of a different standard for some reason. And I think part of it is that there's no Yiddish land that you can go to. So unless you marry a Yiddishist or become Hasidish, you're going to have a hard time gaining proficiency. And so, a lot of times when you see somebody who learned Yiddish in a classroom, they're barely going to be able to speak the language. But if you learn Yiddish and you then read Yiddish literature and you know about Judaism, of course you can understand Yiddish. I don't see why not. Insiders, certain grumpy insiders will always say, you'll never understand it. You didn't go through the Holocaust. Well, you know what? There was Yiddish before the Holocaust. And people say, oh, you never lived in a shtetl. Well, you know what? There were plenty of Jews who grew up in Warsaw speaking Yiddish who never saw a shtetl. There were people growing up in Yiddish-speaking homes in American Canada who, there's so many historical contexts where Yiddish was spoken in the last century alone that anybody not claiming a monopoly on Yiddish, but anybody claiming to say, here's what you need to know in order to really know Yiddish, is probably putting on some sort of historical blinders. Because that's their experience. So what they're trying to say is you don't understand me.